Trump storms an embassy, takes hostages, and sends a chilling message to the West. And the rich getting richer. You saw the 3 lottery jackpot winners in Connecticut yesterday, $254 million tonight. New questions. Are they the real winners? If not, who is? Nightly News begins now.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
Good evening. Perhaps it's because of its name. For all the bankruptcies we've covered in this grim U.S. economy, this one gets your attention. After all, it's called American Airlines, and even though for a lot of people it can mean a cramped seat on a crowded flight on board a well-worn aircraft, it's a legacy carrier, one of the oldest, one of the big brand names. In fact, it flies the American brand around the world. Well, the airline has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection during this busy holiday travel time to financially regroup while staying in the air, though perhaps not something special as it once was. It's where we begin here tonight. Tom Costello covers aviation for us. He's in our Washington bureau. Hey, Tom, good evening.
Hi, Brian. American Airlines says its labor costs are $800 million higher than its competitors, and it was losing too much money, so today it acted. For 10 years, American Airlines has fought to avoid bankruptcy, even as Delta, United, Continental, and U.S. Airways became leaner and stronger under Chapter 11. Today, more than $10 billion in debt. American said it could wait no longer.
The path ahead will be hard, but it's a well-worn path, and we will make the company successful.
American insists customers won't be affected. But for the 265,000 passengers who fly American and American Eagle every day, some concern.
We would be concerned next time we schedule a flight anywhere, certainly if it was American.
Among passengers' most common questions, what if I've booked upcoming travel on American or an alliance partner? The answer, those tickets will still be honored. What about the valuable frequent flyer miles I've earned? American sent out an email today saying, we want to assure you that your Advantage miles are secure. And what if I may want to fly American in the future? The airline insists it plans to be around for a long time.
For most of us who get on a plane and fly, you're not going to notice any difference.
Despite all the extra fees passengers now pay to check a bag, get a little legroom, or change a ticket, American lost nearly $500 million last year. Now it promises a tail-by-tail review of the entire airline. That could eventually mean slimming down, fewer seats and fewer destinations. Robert Crandall is considered a legend in the airline industry, running American from 1985 to 1998.
What you're going to see as a consequence of this bankruptcy filing is that American will remain a strong and viable competitor, and the industry needs a strong and viable American airline.
But that could also mean painful cuts for some of the 80,000 American employees. It's been locked in nasty contract talks with its pilots union. Experts now expect the airline to use Chapter 11 to force concessions from its unions and also in its benefits programs. Brian?
Tom Costello starting us off from our Washington bureau. Tom, thanks. Now we move to presidential politics tonight. One day after an Atlanta woman came forward alleging a 13-year affair, Herman Cain told staffers he is reassessing his candidacy. Our report tonight from NBC's Lisa Myers.
There he is. Here he is.
Herman Cain kept his distance from reporters today after telling his staff he's reassessing the viability of his candidacy. In a conference call with his team, Cain spoke of the latest firestorm, claims by an Atlanta woman, Ginger White, that she had a 13-year affair with him.
I didn't want to come out with this. I did not.
Cain unequivocally denied having an affair, said the woman was a friend he'd been trying to help financially. But he added, we have to do an assessment as to whether or not this is going to create too much of a cloud in some people's minds as to whether or not they would be able to support us going forth. He said it's also taken a toll on my wife and family. Many conservatives came to Cain's defense before, when 4 different women accused him of sexual harassment. But so far, not this time.
I think this is the most damaging allegation that has been made to date. No question about it.
Today, former Speaker Newt Gingrich, who's had his own infidelity issues, tread carefully.
I think it's a very difficult situation for he and his family
My heart goes out to them. I hope that he reaches whatever is the right decision for them.
White says she decided to come forward partly because she felt badly about how Kane's other accusers were treated.
These statements are all false. All of these women are lying. They're all lying. They are all lying.
Yes, they are.
It bothered me that they were being demonized, sort of, or they were being treated as if they were automatically lying.
Asked tonight if he is dropping out of the race, Kane told NBC News,
999, doing fine.
Kane says he'll continue to campaign with vim and vigor over the next several days and see how his supporters respond. But many conservative voices now say he's too badly damaged to be a viable candidate. Lisa Myers, NBC News, Washington.
So let's talk about this with our political director, Chief White House correspondent Chuck Todd tonight. Chuck, where does this leave this field? After all, Iowa's in, 35 days, and sooner or later, there's going to have to be a leading contender emerge from this pack.
That's right. Exactly 5 weeks from tonight. Look, Herman Cain was on a downward trend even before this latest allegation, and now it looks like he's almost in a campaign death spiral. So where does that lead us? You got Newt Gingrich, the former speaker, who is surging in the polls, surging with some money, even hiring some new staffers that have joined him on the ground in places like South Carolina, trying to beef up Iowa. He's trying to engage Mitt Romney in a one-on-one. Meanwhile, you've got the front runner, Mitt Romney, who wants to ignore Gingrich, and he's trying to engage President Obama in a one-on-one today. He was gleeful about the fact that the DNC was running attack ads against him. So what's the Obama campaign doing? They're desperately trying to prolong the Republican primary, so they're throwing out these attack ads on Romney, hoping that a Newt Gingrich or even a Rick Perry pick up on them and use them in the Republican primary because they want the Republican primary to go long, not short, Brian. So it's an interesting little circular attack going on strategy between those three candidates.
You mentioned Rick Perry. I want to play a clip that he stars in. It was on cable news all day because folks said he makes 2 errors in the space of 1 sentence. Here it is.
Those of you that will be 21 by November the 12th, I ask for your support and your vote. Those of you who won't be, just work hard.
So, Chuck, what happened there?
Well, number one, it's 18. That all you have to be to vote. And Election Day is November the 6th, not November the 12th. So 2 mistakes in one thing. And, you could sort of brush it off and say, well, he misspoke. But he did it in New Hampshire. And the New Hampshire union leader today, Brian, editorialized that all of these flubs taken together actually are making him less qualified to be president. So of all the days and of all the places to do it, this was not a good day for Rick Perry to be doing that.
It's rough out there on the trail on a good day. Chuck Todd on the White House lawn tonight. Chuck, thanks. We turn overseas now to what happened in the streets of Tehran this morning. The storming of the British embassy, an assault that looked very familiar to what we lived through a few decades ago there. And we are learning tonight it may have been more orchestrated than it first appeared. Our chief foreign affairs correspondent, Andrea Mitchell, reports.
A terrifying mob attack. Hundreds of protesters screaming death to England, storming the British embassy, breaking windows, even running off with a picture of the Queen. A violent echo of the takeover of the American embassy in Tehran during the Islamic Revolution in 1979, when 52 Americans were held for 444 days. Today, Iran's government TV covered it all live.
Britain should be accountable, and this is not my word, this is the word of experts.
A tip-off that the takeover was sanctioned by the regime and carried out by the powerful Basij force, the government militia that quashed student protests during elections in 2009. Today, even Iran's Russian allies joined the U.S. and others in condemning the attack.
I strongly urge the Iranian government to hold those who are responsible to task. They have a responsibility to protect diplomatic outposts.
NBC's Tehran bureau chief Ali Arouzi is there.
We have to assume that incidents like this have tacit approval from the very top. Spontaneous demonstrations are not tolerated here by the government and are crushed by an iron fist.
What set it off? Last week, the British cut off all dealings with Iran's central bank because of the country's nuclear activities, much tougher than U.S. sanctions.
Iran is feeling isolated, because of the sanction, and the sanctions are pinching.
There are other tensions. Iran has accused Great Britain, Israel, and the U.S. of assassinating a top Iranian nuclear scientist. And mysterious explosions, suspected sabotage at Iran's military sites. All this plus political infighting between the supreme leader and President Ahmadinejad.
It may be that the power struggle underway, and there are lots of factions vying for power, has allowed this to happen.
The embassy attack does also come as Israel is debating whether to take military action against Iran. And the Republican candidates here all calling on President Obama to get a lot tougher with the regime there. Brian?
Andrea Mitchell in our Washington newsroom. Andrea, thank you as always. In Los Angeles today, Michael Jackson's former doctor, Conrad Murray, was given the maximum sentence for his conviction on those manslaughter charges, 4 years. He was found guilty earlier this month of the singer's drug overdose death, and the Superior Court judge in the case, Michael Pastor, had some strong words for the now disgraced physician.
Based upon a 3-line. Not only isn't there any remorse, there's umbrage and outrage on the part of Dr. Murray against the decedent. Dr. Murray repeatedly lied, engaged in deceitful misconduct, and endeavored to cover up his transgressions. He violated the trust of the medical community, of his colleagues, and of his patient. And he has absolutely no sense of remorse, absolutely no sense of fault, and is and remains dangerous.
By the way, California's prison overcrowding problem means Murray will probably only serve less than 2 years behind bars in the L.A. County Jail. Still, Jackson's family said after the sentencing they were pleased with the result. They're having a sporty time of it in Chicago tonight as a huge weather system crawls right up over top of them. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, whipping up 20-foot waves in some spots along Lakeshore Drive, making getting around a dicey business. The high winds are part of an aggressive cold front that is expected to bring 3 inches of slushy snow to northern Indiana during the night tonight. When we continue here this evening, the danger on the border, drug smugglers putting American lives at risk. Tonight, our extraordinary trip with U.S. pilots out to stop them. And later, those 3 bankers, big-time lottery winners. Did they really win, however? Tonight, that's the jackpot mystery.
I've been riding since I was 17, flat out my whole life. Ran into a pretty serious medical issue. I was prescribed one drug one place, another somewhere else. Turns out if I'd have taken both drugs together, I'd have been in real trouble. But United Healthcare spotted the danger and warned my pharmacist in time. We only get one shot, and I want to leave this life exhausted.
We're more than 78,000 people looking out for 70 million Americans. That's health in numbers. United Healthcare.
Got a cold? Not sure what to take? Well, now Robitussin makes finding the right relief simpler than ever. Click on the Robitussin Relief Finder. Click on your symptoms. Get your right relief. Makes the cold aisle easy. Robitussin. Relief made simple. And introducing nasal relief pills. Now for the very first time from Robitussin.
Cool, you found it.
Wow, nice place.
Yeah, the family thinks I'm out shipping these.
Smooth move. You use Priority Mail flat rate boxes. If it fits, it ships for a low flat rate. Paid for postage online and arranged a free pickup.
And I'm gonna track them online too.
Nice.
Between those boxes and this place, I'm totally staying sane this year.
Do I smell snickerdoodles?
Maybe. Gotta go.
Priority Mail flat rate shipping at USPS.com. A simpler way to ship.
There was a little bit of trepidation. Not quite knowing what the next phase was going to be, because you've been, this is what you've been doing, working. And now you're talking about, I won't be, and I get the chance to spend more time with my wife and my kids. It's my world. That's my world.
Tomorrow on Today. Arsenic in apple juice. Now, hear the results of a new study that tries to set the record straight about what's really safe for your child to drink. Tomorrow on Today, only on NBC.
Friday, a beautiful blonde disappears in Aruba. Dateline's Unsolved Case Squad is on the scene.
You can scream.
No one would hear me.
No one will hear you.
Accident or murder? Can they find an answer? Friday, 10/9 Central on NBC.
Back now with the latest in our series of reports, The War Next Door, about the escalating fight against Mexican drug traffickers who have crossed deeply into this country along our southern border. Tonight we have a rare look from the sky over an area that has seen record drug seizures this year, with some of the Americans who fly day and night spotting smugglers and protecting U.S. law enforcement down on the ground. Our report tonight from NBC's Mark Potter.
Near the Mexican border, another day of air patrol for the Texas Department of Public Safety.
Start looking on this side.
On a day we fly with them along the Rio Grande,
we got the vehicle over here.
Pilots quickly spot a team of Mexican traffickers.
There's going to be a bunch more here.
With a load of drugs bound for the United States.
So there's going to be about 6 or 7 guys, at least 5 bundles, and a blue raft.
Veteran officers here who spend every day in the sky say drug trafficking in this area has increased dramatically in just the last couple of years, and they see no end in sight.
What they do see is stunning. Vehicles loaded with Mexican drugs racing dangerously through busy streets.
Oh, no.
On the U.S. side of the border.
He nearly struck 2 school buses still southbound.
I've seen the level of aggression increase exponentially. The sheer volume of narcotics that's being pumped into our border has risen.
What Texas pilots also see are Mexican cartel smuggling vehicles running from U.S. law enforcement, then driving into the Rio Grande to avoid capture.
Bam. All units, we have a splashdown.
In South Texas, it happens routinely.
Okay, we got rafts in the water, a bunch of people on the U.S. side. This thing is loaded.
With the truck in the river, teams of Mexican smugglers come brazenly to the American riverbank to retrieve their drug packages and then return to the Mexican side, where U.S. agents cannot arrest them. It can get dangerous.
We have had a lot of guns pointed at us on the river and other places. And obviously the threat's there.
If you hear gunshots, let us know, please.
Pilots say that threat to officers and the public is rising.
I think it's important that our citizens, not only in the state, but in the United States, are aware of how porous our border is and what the threats are and could be.
Oh, my God. Blast down.
Threats that officers in the sky see every day. Mark Potter, NBC News, Edinburgh, Texas.
There is a lot more from the front lines of the war next door. It's on our website, NBCNightlyNews.com. And up next here tonight, why a big star is telling his fans not to buy his new album, and proof that no matter who you are, you still got to wait for the cable guy between 3 and 5.
Humana and Walmart have teamed up to bring you a low-priced Medicare prescription drug plan with the lowest national plan premium and copays as low as $1. Saving on Medicare prescriptions is easy, so you're free to focus on the things that really matter. Call Humana at 1-800-808-4003 or go to walmart.com for details.
Let's see if we can get one past the defense.
Hut, go! Here it comes! Where are the numbers? Boom! Get it, spin! Oh, nice hands!
Check them. Oh, good job, man. Nice. Okay, halftime. Now this is my favorite play. Oh! I'm wide open. I won't fumble. Don't want to fumble any of these.
Share what you love with who you love. Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Is up. And it's good.
Good. They're great.
I have a cold. I took NyQuil, but I'm still stuffed up.
Truth is, NyQuil doesn't unstuff your nose.
Really?
Alka-Seltzer Plus liquid gels fight your worst cold symptoms, plus it relieves your stuffy nose.
Thank you.
That's the cold truth.
Confidence with Depend in color. Now available in gray. Looks and fits like underwear. Same great protection. Depend. Good morning, great day.
I love to eat. I love hanging out with my friends. I have a great fit with my dentures. I love kiwis. I've always had that issue with the seeds getting under my denture. Super Polygrip Free, it creates a seal of the dentures in my mouth.
Even well-fitting dentures let in food particles. Super Polygrip is zinc-free. With just a few dabs, it's clinically proven to seal out more food particles, so you're more comfortable and confident while you eat.
Super Polygrip Free made the kiwi an enjoyable experience.
Try zinc-free Super Polygrip.
Last throw, Prince. And last chance at Medicare open enrollment, too.
What do you mean?
It ends December 7th. If you haven't reviewed your Medicare plan choices yet, well, it's getting late. Medicare gives you free cancer screenings and wellness visits, and 50% off brand-name prescription drugs when you're in the donut hole. It's all part of the healthcare law. December 7th? I better get going. Medicare open enrollment ends soon. Call 1-800-MEDICARE or visit Medicare.gov to learn more.
Sometimes a hint is all the wrapping a gift needs.
Is that what I think it is?
The Lexus December to Remember sales event is here, but only for a limited time. Lease the all-wheel drive 2012 IS 250 for these terms, and as a gift from Lexus, we'll make your first month's payment. See your Lexus dealer.
Sobering news today for all those with a soccer player in the family. It's about headers. It's a new medical study that says frequent headers showed brain injury similar to that seen in patients with concussion, also known as mild traumatic brain injury. Those who fared worse are the players who made head contact with a soccer ball over 1,000 times a year, which among frequent players, including practice, isn't all that many. One doctor says the worry here is degeneration of brain cells and lacerating nerve fibers in the brain. This year's Tournament of Roses parade in Pasadena may look a lot like the current state of the U.S. economy. First of all, the Occupy protesters are planning to flood the event with thousands of people. Second, a lot of folks are cutting back on floats. Several municipalities won't be represented. One float maker locally is out of business. Several companies have dropped out. For the first time in memory, by the way, even the Budweiser Clydesdales are staying home in St. Louis, presumably to watch the parade on TV like the rest of us. Today happens to be the 10th anniversary of the death of George Harrison. And also today we got a first-time glimpse into the private life, the everyday home life of John Lennon. It's in the form of his to-do list containing some wonderfully ordinary stuff and proving everybody has to wait for the cable guy. First item on the list says the guy's coming to fix HBO from 3 to 5. Another item is to make sure both cars have full tanks of gas. There's a reminder to buy marmalade. There are a few books he wants to buy. And a hook on the bathroom door is falling off. A rare glimpse of a domestic Beatle. And among contemporary musicians, Elvis Costello has to get some kind of an award for honesty. He's got a big limited edition box set of his music coming out for Christmas, and he's telling his fans it's just not worth it for the money they want for it. It's over $300. He is suggesting instead that people buy the Ambassador of Jazz collection of Louis Armstrong's music, which he calls vastly superior and costs much less. Further, he says his own box set will be available for less money if you wait until the first of the year. Up next here tonight, that's the ticket, but who's the real winner?
Do you have an irregular heartbeat called atrial fibrillation or AFib that's not caused by a heart valve problem?
Are you taking warfarin to reduce your risk of stroke caused by a clot?
You should know about Pradaxa.
An important study showed that Pradaxa 150 milligrams reduced stroke risk 35% more than warfarin. And with Pradaxa, there's no need for those regular blood tests.
Pradaxa is progress.
Pradaxa can cause serious, sometimes fatal bleeding. Don't take Pradaxa if you have abnormal bleeding, and seek immediate medical care for unexpected signs of bleeding, like unusual bruising.
Pradaxa may increase your bleeding risk if you're 75 or older, have kidney problems, or a bleeding condition like stomach ulcers. Or if you take aspirin products, NSAIDs, or blood thinners.
Tell your doctor about all medicines you take, any planned medical or dental procedures, and don't stop taking Pradaxa without your doctor's approval, as stopping may increase your stroke risk.
Other side effects include indigestion, stomach pain, upset, or burning.
If you have AFib not caused by a heart valve problem, ask your doctor if Pradaxa can reduce your risk of a stroke.
For more information or help paying for Pradaxa, visit Pradaxa.com.
With a new view of the market, you could see an investment opportunity you didn't see before. Fidelity's next-generation iPad app lets you see what's trending around the world, as well as what over 1 million Fidelity customers are trading throughout the day. And advanced charting lets you customize your views and set up your own comparisons. Our iPad app can help refine your strategy or even find a new one. I'm Valia Carboni, and I help create Fidelity's next-generation iPad app. It's one more innovative reason serious investors are choosing Fidelity.
Open an account today and get a $500 Apple gift card. For Minnie, Nexium helps relieve heartburn symptoms caused by acid reflux disease. Osteoporosis-related bone fractures and low magnesium levels have been seen with Nexium. Possible side effects include headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. Talk to your doctor about Nexium.
Are you still shopping for a Medicare plan? You only have 8 days left. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends Wednesday, December 7th. Call United Healthcare Medicare Solutions today. Consider enrolling in a Medicare Advantage plan. It combines your doctor and hospital coverage and may include prescription drug coverage for as low as a $0 monthly premium. You only have until December 7th to enroll. Call United Healthcare today.
Meet the Candidates is an opportunity to really go through a candidate's record. They're held accountable for positions they've taken over the years, for what's motivated them. This is an attempt in a balanced way to really go in depth, get to the bottom of where a candidate stands.
Last night here, we told you about 3 money managers who won the biggest lottery jackpot in Connecticut history, $250 million. Well, today, the plot thickened. As a friend said, the 3 men were fronting for a wealthy client who wanted to remain anonymous. Tonight, another plot twist and a promise that at least some of the money will go to a very good cause. The story tonight from NBC's Ann Thompson.
Winning $254 million would make most people giddy. Not these guys. Money managers Tim Davidson, Brandon Lakoff, and Greg Skidmore stoically claimed the largest lottery prize in Connecticut history Monday for the Putnam Avenue Family Trust.
We're the trustees.
Yeehaw.
Thank you.
Their uncomfortable reaction in stark contrast to other big lottery winners.
Congratulations.
The $229 million joy of Tom and Kathleen Morris.
We're just going to live the way we have, but just a little bit higher.
The New York Costco winner splitting more than $201 million. And the humility of 23-year-old Neil Wanless, winning a jackpot of $232 million.
I intend to repay it that many times over.
The low-key reaction of Davidson, who bought the ticket, and his colleagues led to predictably snarky headlines from New York's famous tabloids. And then this bombshell from London's Daily Mail, reporting the 3 are fronting for the real winner. Their source, Tom Gladstone, a friend of the bankers, who today told NBC News, "I was nervous that I let the cat out of the bag." Conspiracy theorists online pointed to the reticence of the trio's attorney to talk about the men.
And then there are the odds. You have a better shot at dating a supermodel, winning an Olympic gold medal, even becoming president than the 195 million to 1 odds of winning this prize.
Today, a trust spokesman said there is no 4th person. And at the gas station where the ticket was sold, the story is very simple.
His name is Tim. He's right here.
Now these money managers have to manage millions of their own. Ann Thompson, NBC News, New York.
And that's our broadcast on a Tuesday evening. Thank you for being here with us. I'm Brian Williams, and we hope to see you right back here tomorrow evening. Good night.
When you want to stay connected, NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams is there. America's most watched newscast, whenever and wherever you want it.
Put the News 4 I-Team to work for you.